with all your heart, then you will find him. So it's really important to have a personal encounter with God. And so, let me see. I want to tell you, okay, brief teachings on angels. Okay, angels are, they work together with us. Actually, I feel like the second and third heaven. Have you ever heard of the second and third heaven? When someone says that, right? Okay. The first heaven is right here. It's right in front of us. We can reach out and touch it. Second heaven is in the stars above, in the constellations. Thank you. And so the second heaven is in the stars. It's in the constellations. It's above the firmament. Actually, the Bible says that Satan set up his throne there in the farthest north. And so he's trying to imitate God because he was given the name, the son of the, or the morning star. He was given that name. And but Jesus is the son of the morning, and he is the true morning star. And so he's Satan, who was once Lucifer, is trying to imitate God by setting up his throne as far as he can in the heavens. And he did that with the 5 I wills. I will be like God. I will sin like Most High. And so he wanted to be like the Lord so much. But the thing is, you have what he doesn't, but you have what he wants. The image of God. You're made in his image. You're made in his likeness.
Amen.
And so you have the DNA of heaven inside of you. It's flowing through your blood. And that's why the enemy is so angry about you. Because you have exactly what he wants. And he got it in the garden, but he lost it when Jesus died on the cross. It was restored back to us and back to the Father. And it was, that is the most amazing, that Jesus died on the cross and rose from the dead. And so, the third heaven is the heaven of heavens. Now, in the third heaven, there's even levels there. There's levels of heaven in the third heaven. And so, that's why we have the God that's 3 in 1, but also we have the sevenfold Spirit of God. And so, it's all the same. Now, the third heaven, there's different places in the third heaven. I've been there on a couple occasions. Don't blame me, blame God. That was not something I did. That was the Lord. And it'll make you light up like a light bulb, though, if you get to go there. It's real. And that's what we need more than ever, is to start living there and visiting here. And so much we live here and visit there. We need to start living there and visiting here. I'm telling you, it is so powerful. People say, you're so heavenly minded, you're no earthly good. That's not the truth. If you are heavenly minded in the right way, the true way, heavenly minded, you'll be some earthly good. And in fact, you'll mess up some stuff here in a good way. And so we need to really start living there, which is, we're born from above. You don't get born again when you die. You get born again when you give your life to Jesus. And so right now, you've been born from above. And here's a secret way to heaven. It's really tricky. The secret way to heaven is not up. It's down. It's to humble yourself. And so a lot of people have been trying to go to heaven the wrong way. They've been trying to strive to get to heaven and going up by their own works, their own means, their own ways. But the way you get to heaven is you humble yourself and you go down. Actually, Jesus said this in John 3:13. No one has ascended to heaven but he who came down from heaven, that is the Son of Man who is in heaven. And the secret way to heaven is to go down. And so that's like the back door that nobody talks about. And so I believe that some of you are being called in this day to live in the third heaven. And it'll extend your life. It'll give you energy. It'll save you in some hard situations to go there. And I've heard this teaching lately, and this is not, I don't think this is right, where people just think they can just go up whenever they want. And it's a holy thing when God takes you to heaven. And so it's not something that you purpose, oh, I'm going up right now. But it is something that you're given access to. And we need to start learning how to access heaven. And that's where we go through the door. The way is Jesus. Any word for Qatar church and leadership? Well, I'll just speak for Qatar. I don't know if you were all over there, but Acts chapter 12 is where I believe Qatar is at. And that was where Herod persecuted the church. But in the end, and it was a political spirit. The political spirit is really mad that the church is thriving, doing well. And but the Lord's about to deal with that political spirit. And you'll see it. You'll know what I'm talking about. The leadership, I'll tell you this. I think right now is the time to build schools here. The Lord's going to be giving you, I think it's like a 2-year window for building schools. And some of you are going to be students at those schools. Schools of evangelism, schools of worship, training schools to learn to study the Bible. And they'll be underground. It will be a little bit different. And where you really get in-depth study, and these schools of evangelism, raising up these evangelists to go out in the highways and the byways. But really, what I see is indigenous peoples. And this is what we need more than ever, is indigenous peoples. And so, where's most of y'all from? Where's that? Philippines. So if you're from the Philippines, Paul said to the Romans that became a Roman, to the Jews that became a Jew. So if you're from the Philippines, I tell you what, you have authority with your own people. Faster than you do with others. You have authority with your own people. And this is where we made a great mistake in missions, is we went to missions areas and thought we were going to bring revival, but really, or we've gone overseas or we've gone to other countries, thought we were going to bring revival. But a lot of revivals start off where someone from overseas comes over, prays for someone, the power of God touches them, raises up that individual as an indigenous person to that area, and then that person gets sent. That person goes. And so, pray that God would raise you up as an indigenous person in this area to minister to those of your own tribe. And I really believe that the Lord is doing this. And so, but also, I see the Lord bringing some Qatar people in, and so that they can start flowing in the things of the Spirit for their own people, and that they have a level of victory, a level of authority that others don't, so that the Lord can raise them up and send them to their own tribe and begin ministering to their own people. And so, right now, I really believe that's some wisdom from God. And I notice a lot of times we put in churches, our church especially, Christians especially, we put a lot of effort into that which yields little fruit. A lot of effort into that which yields little fruit. And so, for instance, in America, if the Christians started doing what they're supposed to be doing there, we would have serious revival, because there's easy ways to pick the fruit there. But instead, we feel like we're supposed to go into really hard situations always, and that's the only way that God's going to move, is in really hard situations.